we always get in Vancouver these, I shouldn't call them an award, we almost get sometimes the walk of shame where people say that in Vancouver you don't know how to dress, blah, blah, blah. The Deighton Cup is the thing that basically washes away every bit of shame. Rachel, we're here at, of course, the Hastings Hattery, where we are getting ready for Deighton Cup, happening on the 25th, and no better place to go for hats than
thanks, Dawn.
here. How many hats do you have here? And you just celebrated 1 year.
Yes, we've been here just over a year, and it's been an amazing ride so far. Nothing but wonderful things, great neighborhood, and it's just changing every day, which is fantastic.
And you make or produce and create your own hats. You also have many different Canadian designers as well. Let's go through a few of the great options potentially for Deighton Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's always a traditional derby, larger brim, which is great, very dramatic, very elegant, very ladylike. And then you can get into a fascinator. This is definitely a bit edgier than some of the fascinators that are out there. It's got a little bit more height, it's got a little bit more pop, and then you can always go with something that's a little bit softer. So in the fascinator range, we also have this, which is really great because it doesn't interfere with your hairstyle at all. So it can just clip in wherever you're comfortable, and it's not a lot of height, so if you're not really used to a hat, it's a great starter.
When you're using a fascinator, is it better to have your hair up, or can you literally put it in to your hair existing as it is? I always feel like you need to have more of an updo.
Yeah, I think you can go either way. I have a lot of hair, as you can see, and I've always pulled my hair to the side and kind of worn it back, or you can definitely put your hair up and wear it up and forward more, so there's definitely a lot of options, very versatile.
And talked a little bit about the fact that you actually create your own hats. This is one that you've been working on, and it kind of starts from a base like that, doesn't it?
It does, actually. This is one we made here in the studio as well, and so it always starts with a raw base, and then we build up from there. So it's nice because you can really tie in a little bit of your outfit with what you want to wear.
You have a rental program this year?
We do. This is new, so if you don't want to necessarily invest in your own hat, you can try something different out for each event you're going to.
Fantastic. We got lots more coming up from the Hastings Hattery as we gear up for Deighton Cup, Russ. I think I'm going to change it up a little bit because you know what? Why not? We're in a hat store, so it's dress up all morning long. What do you think?
Oh, stylish. I like the last one too because you're keeping the sun off your shoulders, which is a great idea, but that one has got some flair to it, Dawn. Looking really good today. The sun's in our forecast headlines. In fact, look at that, a nice blue.
Putting a dress up, yes, we've got Deighton Cup, but also Dîner en Blanc is around the corner, and I know Riaz has been to Dîner en Blanc, where you have to wear everything white.
Absolutely.
This is going to be a hot seller.
Yes, we definitely have a lot in white right now because we're thinking ahead, but jump on it because they go fast.
Exactly, but people are getting ready for Deighton Cup, and a hat can be a bit of an investment. So we know that you offer a great rental program, but for people that actually want a bit of a do-it-yourself with something as basic as a brim hat,
yes.
How can we dress it up?
This is a great everyday Vancouver hat. It's totally packable. It's UPF 50.
I love how you said you can even scrunch it up.
Yeah, you can literally scrunch it up and pack it. And it's also adjustable, so it fits a variety of people. So this is something you could invest in for everyday use, and then really simply just dressing it up, taking a beautiful piece of ribbon. It can be just as simple as tying a bow.
And this could be a ribbon that you have sitting around the house. You could go, stop at a craft store, or even potentially use some family heirlooms.
For sure, and you can always find really beautiful ribbon offcuts, like people who haven't, used a whole roll and maybe are looking to sell like a really great quality ribbon, but they just have a bit left. So this is perfect. And then just taking even a dried flower and adding it in, it totally changes the look of the hat, and it gives you a really dressy look that when the event's over, you can take that off and go back to casual.
And again, if you have something at home that you go, man, this was my great grandmother's, and I want to sort of have a piece of her at my special event, you can feel free to add. You have to have a little bit of creativity, but just take a chance, right?
But you know what? There's nothing is wrong with trial and error. I mean, just go for it. You may come up with something amazing, and you can always come in and we can give you some pointers too.
And again, thinking from the budget standpoint, if you're going to try to save some money, maybe save it on what you're wearing, maybe something very basic as far as clothing, but invest in the hat.
Yes, a good friend of mine from Lord Shoes always says, put the fun in the accessories. So if you've got a great basic little black dress that you love and you just feel amazing in, rock it, and then put the fun into a really bright hat and an amazing pair of shoes and maybe some fun jewelry.
I love it. So many great ideas here at Hastings Hattery. By the way, come and check them out. They've got a great rental program as well as a great selection of hats. What kind of hat do you think we're going to need? Do you think we're going to need a sun hat or a rain hat in the weather? Russell Kate has those details up next. We'll be right back. Well, the Hastings Hattery is the official hat sponsor of the Deighton Cup, which is happening on the 25th. So things are going to get busy and very, very fancy. But in addition to fashion, Rachel, there's a very specific health purpose that people can wear hats.
Absolutely. I mean, especially here in Vancouver, we really have both. We have the rain protection and then we have the sun protection, of course. And people are much more aware in the last few years of how much they really do need to protect themselves so that they're not dealing with skin cancer later in life.
But you know, hats are just so fun to wear. What am I wearing here?
This is a great fascinator that we made here in the studio. So it's on a Kate beret base. So this is quite like UK inspired. This is a similar base to most of the hats that Kate Middleton wears. So it's a really great, like it perches really nicely so it shows off your face really well. Looks great on most people. And this is all hand sculpted.
And it's fun.
Yes,
it's fun.
Very
and
fun.
It's made locally. Tell us about this one here. Of course, this was part of our prize package today.
Yeah, so this is a Canadian-made hat as well. We added a little bit of floral design to it just to make it a bit more fun for the Deighton Cup. But we try to do as much as we can with Canadian designers. So
let's talk about great casual options.
Yes, so I picked a few here that I think are really fun. This is a great basic ladies bucket. So this is something that looks great on most people, really easy. And the wonderful thing about this is it's very easy to roll up and pack. So if you're traveling and having fun this summer, this is a great option.
And then we can't forget about the guys.
Yes, this is a great Panama, so a very traditional style, a nice low crown, not a huge brim, so it's going to look really fantastic on most men. And the nice thing about either of these styles really is that if you're a couple that happens to have the same size head, this can double as a his and hers.
I love it. Makes it actually even more budget friendly.
Absolutely.
Speaking of which, if people don't want to invest in a hat or a variety of hats for the Deighton Cup, you have a great rental program.
We do, yeah. So it's usually going to be about a third of the retail price, which is fantastic because it allows you to wear something that's really a high dollar, beautiful piece, but for a fraction of the cost.
Fantastic. You can check out the Hastings Hattery here on Hastings. And for more details, you can check out their website as well. But definitely way more fun to come here and try on some hats.
Great summertime event. The participation they get at Hastings Park is pretty incredible.
You wearing the bow tie this year?
Oh, you know what? You got to do the bow tie. Suspenders as well. And that's the great part of it. When you go out to a party and everybody's dressing up derby style, it's a great one. So July 25th is when it goes down.